So where do we put this, and how do we make sure that everyone agrees? Like, if there's just a piece of paper in the middle of the table, then it might get modified, these numbers might get changed. Everyone needs to see or agree on these numbers in some publicly visible place. So one idea is that we elect a bookkeeper who is always going to be in charge of publishing things. So they will write it down on their piece of paper, and anyone can actually go see their paper. But even better, they could publish their paper with multiple copies, say in a newspaper, and then it would be infeasible to go change all of the newspapers to change the numbers that everyone agreed that they saw yesterday or something like that. In fact, it's not the whole ledger that needs to be published, but if we have a reasonably reliable bookkeeper, then all we need is evidence, that hash code that the bookkeeper regularly publishes, and everyone, when they want detailed information, could go ask the bookkeeper for the books, but the books could be checked against this evidence that published. And the evidence, again, is that hash code that everyone can see. And this is an old idea that has actually been in practice since the mid-90s or so. There's a company called Surety that has been publishing a hash code in the New York Times Classified, which forms an archival record, right? It's difficult to go change all the copies of those classifieds to change the numbers. And this is a use of a hash code as evidence that Surety has some other record, that they've recorded some statement in their archives, and it can be checked against the whole history of their archives by checking the numbers published in the classifieds. This is okay, but it does rely on electing one trustworthy long-term bookkeeper. Another idea is that every participant keeps as much as a copy as they need, and all participants agree individually that a particular hash code is the current ledger, the evidence of the current ledger. And they do that through some consensus algorithm. Consensus algorithms are common in distributed computing, so we have some algorithms for arriving at consensus among a number of participants, basically majority rules. And what this does is avoids the need for a centralized, individually trustworthy gatekeeper or bookkeeper for adding to the ledger. The idea of a chain of blocks is not necessarily tied to the notion of consensus, but when people say blockchain as an idea, they often have in mind consensus as part of the system. A chain of blocks that is cryptographically secure, plus a consensus algorithm to agree on the current chain of blocks.